Hi everyone, my name is Chiagozie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a 9-to-5 mom, I'm a career woman, I'm a mother of 3, and this is my YouTube space. In this channel, I like to talk about things that I feel will help people, things that I feel will help people to become better people, and I also make vlogs. Okay, if you're new here, please subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. You already know I really appreciate you. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about something I feel is very important. Okay, a lot of times we find ourselves explaining ourselves to others, we find ourselves apologizing for things, we find ourselves having the need to explain or to give reasons why we take some certain decisions in our life. It could be different things for different people. It could be because you don't want to seem rude. It could be because you want to belong. It could be because it's just what you see others do and you just feel the need to, constantly explain yourself. It could also stem from a place of extreme low self-esteem. People have constantly made you feel bad about yourself, and so because you're looking for acceptance, you find or you see the need to constantly, explain yourself to do. Whatever reason it is for you, it can be absolutely fine for you to explain yourself depending on the situation, but there are some things that you absolutely do not need to explain or you do not need to justify to people. And in this video, we're going to be dissecting that from my own point of view. I'm going to be talking about the things that I feel that you do not in any way at any point in time in your life have to justify that to anybody. So if that is something you're interested in watching or listening to, please stay tuned. So the very first thing that I feel you don't need to justify to anybody is your appearance. Yes, your appearance. I see that a lot, especially now that I am now on YouTube and I push out content and I watch other content as well on YouTube. I see a lot of people that come online and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Even me, I've made that mistake sometimes probably because I see that that's what people do, and I'm just like, okay, let me just apologize for looking this way. I see it a lot when people apologize for their looks, especially women and some men that I've also come across. You find yourself, or you have the need, or you see the need to apologize for what you look like or how you look like. Some will say things like, oh, I'm so sorry that I do not have a full face of makeup today, or oh, I'm so sorry that I'm looking very scattered, or I'm so sorry, you are apologizing and you're justifying the reason, or you're explaining the reason why you showed up the way you showed up. Yes, there are times that, yes, maybe you feel the need probably because you're trying to portray a particular image of yourself. You're trying to, the brand you're creating is somebody that is always put together and all that. But I mean, in real life, there is nobody that is always put together, right? There is somebody that is always on point. There are times that you're looking jaka. There are times that, you're put together and all that. So I don't think you need to justify your looks. I don't think you need to justify your beauty. I don't think you need to explain or justify the reason why you appear the way you appear. Some days when you have the energy or the strength to come out like I'm looking today, I have a full face of makeup. Permit me if I admire myself in the viewfinder. Yes, so today I have a full face of makeup, and yeah, that's it. That's how I'm appearing today, and that's fine. There are days that I wake up and I'm not even feeling like applying even lip gloss, and that's just the way I need to be that day. There is really no need for you to always constantly explain or justify or have the need to tell people the reason why you are the way you are, if you get what I mean. So I think that is the first thing you don't need to justify to anybody at all except yourself. Okay, the second thing you don't need to justify to anyone, in my opinion, is the things that are important to you in life. See, in this life, I always say it, in this life we are complete. What is important to me might just be this YouTube. What is important to the next person might just be the next available meal. What is important to this other person might just be how will I afford vacations? How will I buy luxury items? How will I spend my vacations in the best hotels in the world? That is totally up to you. It's not something you need to justify to anybody in any way whatsoever. We all grew up with different values. There are things that we call important. There are things that we strive towards in life. And that is what makes us who we are. That is what pushes us every single day of our life. As far as it doesn't have any negative impact on anybody and even yourself, I don't think the things that are important to you as a human being is something that you need to justify to anyone. So if that is what it is, whatever it is for you, if it is your baby, if it is your husband, if it is your career, if it is whatever it is that is important to you, it is totally up to you to decide it. And no other person should be given that privilege to decide it. You don't need to justify it to anybody. It is totally up to you. The third thing I don't think you need to justify to anybody at all is your career path. Okay, now we live in a society, or we live in times where, you know, the internet is becoming a means of livelihood for some people, and some people still don't understand that people make money off internet every single day, like every second. Okay, and I've come across people who make money off internet, probably via YouTube or, you know, internet related stuff, not Yahoo, not fraud. Okay, and they constantly see the need to justify to people why they do what they do. Okay, you know, I like to work for myself. I've never seen myself working as a 9-to-5 person, and so I've always wanted to work for myself, and that is why I've resolved to do XYZ on the internet, not Yahoo, like I said, you know. And somehow I just see it as some people are actually very confident and bold when they're talking about their career path, but sometimes you see that they're explaining because they already kind of feel that people don't consider those kind of jobs as like important jobs. Do you get what I mean? Some people find themselves in feels like maybe they're a teacher or they're a lecturer, and you see them trying to explain, okay, you know what, I decided to become a teacher because of that, or because of this, or I decided to become a musician because of this, because of that. I don't know why I always have to make videos when this dog is barking. What is important to you as a person? Your career path is what you choose. It is something that makes you happy. It is something that fetches you money as well. It's something that takes care of your bills. It's something that you just choose to do on your own, right? That is one thing that I feel is nobody's business. It is not anybody's business. As far as you're not defrauding somebody, you're not negatively impacting anybody, or you're not, you know, doing something that is illegal. You're not doing something illegal. You're not doing something that is hurting others. That is absolutely up to you. You don't need to justify what your career path is. You want to become a medical doctor, who cares? You want to become an actress. As far as you have resolved within yourself and that is what you want to pursue, you do not need to explain to anybody. The next thing that you don't need to justify to anybody, and that is so important to me, is being unapologetically yourself. There is something that me personally, I always preach, and I have been striving throughout my adult life to, you know, be free of that, and that is to just be free to be myself, to be free to unapologetically, like when I mean unapologetically, I mean no apologies, be yourself. Again, that is as far as you're not negatively impacting on other people or on even yourself, as far as your lifestyle is not affecting anybody, as far as who you are is not affecting anybody in a negative manner, then just be unapologetically. I need to be stressing it, that's why I don't want to rush it. Unapologetically yourself. Okay, it takes courage for you to actually step out and do away with all the social pressure, all the societal pressure, family pressure, whatever pressure, and just stand up and say, you know what, this is who I am, and if you're not gonna accept it, you shift aside. So be unapologetically yourself. Okay, who you are behind closed doors, who you are when there is nobody watching, who you are when it is just you, yourself, in your room, you know, with nobody else, is who you truly are. You don't need to come to appear and be like, oh, okay, because I think the society feels that I should appear this way, so I should appear this way. Meanwhile, it is eating you, it is eating deep into you that this is not who you are, that you really need to break through and showcase yourself. I mean, all of us are unique. We are unique in our own way. You don't need to live a life of copycat. You don't need to live a life of follow the crowd when you can actually shine your light. Being unapologetically yourself can mean, you know, be more outspoken. I am somebody that truly believes in owning up to who you are. You may not necessarily have the same values as I do, but because you are owning it and you are chestnut and you're saying, you know what, this is me and this is how I like to do my own things. I may not totally agree with your lifestyle, but that alone is what I like in people. I like people who are like, this is me. take it or leave it. Okay, I may be wrong in whatever decision I decide to take, but it is absolutely and completely myself. And I think a lot of people are under this pressure to become who they're not, just because the society wants you to appear in a certain way. And I think one of the most courageous thing we can do in our time, especially now that the internet is everywhere, everybody's matter is online, is to just remain true to yourself unapologetically. Like, you don't need any apologies to be who you are. You are who you are, and that is how you have been created. You don't need to apologize, you don't need to hide, you don't need to pretend, you don't need to follow the crowd per se. So being unapologetically yourself is one thing that you don't need to justify to anyone but yourself. Okay, the next thing that I don't think you should justify to anyone is your aspirations and your goal, your life goal, your life as who do you want to be, what do you want to do, what is that thing that you want. It doesn't matter what I want, it doesn't matter what anybody is telling you. What is that thing that you want? Like I said earlier on, some people's want in this life, just like I am here, I am hustling. In the morning, I have a 9-to-5 job. In the morning, I'm rushing up to go to work. In the evening, I'm rushing back to come to work. That is just my own life aspiration. I don't need to come and start explaining, okay, I'm doing this thing because I went to school or I went to university and I just feel, no, I'm doing it because it is my life aspiration. It is my life goal to become better in my career, to continue climbing this ladder. I don't need to explain it to anybody, okay? For another person, their life aspiration might be just to become a housewife and just stay and be chopping money. This month they're in the Caribbean, the next month they're in Dubai, the next month they're somewhere in Europe, and they're just chopping their husband's money. That is their life aspiration and goal, and they do not need to explain to anybody. They don't need to give reasons why they do what they do, because I feel whenever you start justifying things to people, it kind of stems from a place of insecurity. If you're really confident in your life, in your decisions and the things that you want for yourself, you don't really need to explain to anybody. The final thing that I don't think you need to justify to anyone is self-care. Okay, now self-care simply just means taking time for yourself and taking care of yourself. I brought this last because I really want to talk about it, especially for my viewers who are moms or who are parents, because many a times you find out that every other person comes before you and you're always struggling at the back. You're always struggling with, when can I break free? When can I become myself? When can I take care of myself? When can I have my alone time? And you find out that even the times that you manage to have the alone time, there is this guilt that creeps in to start telling you things like, why are you spending this on yourself? Why are you here getting a massage when your child is crying? Why are you here doing your nails when you have not cooked for your husband? I'm not saying you should not go and cook for your husband. Please cook for your husband before you leave your house. But you get what I'm saying? Why are you here doing XYZ? Why are you putting yourself first? We always, as moms, have this mom guilt anytime we decide to put ourselves first. But guess what? That is something you do not need to justify. You don't need to explain to anybody, because you can only become a better person when you take care of yourself. You can only give what you have. If you have not taken care of yourself, how do you take care of others? So it is always very important to bring out time, take care of yourself, take care of the things that you like, have a hobby, have things that even if it doesn't even need to involve spending a lot of money. Your self-care can just be something as simple as a simple skincare routine. Yes, it can be something as simple as, okay, after work or in the evenings when you shower, the things you apply to your face, the things you apply to your body, the time you take to scrub your body when you're having your bath. It can just be something as simple as just closing the door for 15 minutes and pressing your phone, or reading a book, or just having a hobby. Yes, those are equally self-care, okay? And that is you taking steps, becoming intentional with putting yourself first. I don't think you should feel guilty about that. I don't think you need to explain it to anybody. So if somebody sees you tomorrow lying down on a spa bed getting a massage, you don't need to say, okay, Joseph, my husband, is taking care of the children at home, and so I decided. It's not the person's business. Your business is that you're lying down there and you're putting yourself first and you're getting self-care. You don't need to explain to anybody the reason why you're found there. You don't need to explain to anybody the reason why you're buying that expensive skincare routine or that skincare product. You don't need to explain that to anybody. Maybe you start feeling bad and be like, oh, I'm just buying this skincare because I just had a baby and I just need. Nobody is asking you that. If that is the skincare that you need to buy and you can afford it and you're not squandering maybe your children's school fees money or the upkeep money and that is what you want to buy for yourself, please, by all means, go ahead and do it without feeling an atom of guilt. It's like I'm mentioning skincare too much. I mean, like I said, self-care can simply just be anything that involves having an alone time, spending time on yourself and by yourself and doing things that make you happy. And I don't think you need to justify that to anybody. As far as it's not hurting you, it's not hurting anybody around you, and you're not being irresponsible about it, okay? There are times as a young adult that I always found myself explaining the reasons why I'm taking some certain decisions. And as I grew older, I realized that you don't really need to explain. You don't need to explain to anybody or justify the reason why you are who you are or the reason why you do the things you do the way you do the things you do. So yeah, for me, these are my top things that I don't need to justify to anybody. For another person, it could mean other things, it could be other things, but these are my top things that I don't need to justify to anybody. Let me know in the comment section other things that you do not need to justify to other people that I did not mention in this video. I would like to hear your thoughts on that, and I also like to learn from you as well. If this is your first time here and you have not subscribed, please, what are you waiting for? Okay, please click on that subscribe button, watch my other videos, and get to know this beautiful woman. I'm going to see you in my next video. Until next time, take care. Bye.